It's Latay! Usapang Liver, backed by medical experts. I'm your host, Tita Liv, and I'm here to talk about the toughest and most hardworking organ in your body, your liver! Always filtering things, always breaking down things, our strong, silent fighter. Kaya naman, minsan hindi natin napapansin agad. Complications like cancer can suddenly appear. So sa mga Atylers or Atyl lovers natin dyan, stay strong! And together, let's find out how we can help our livers to live the fullest! At para mas malinawan tayo kung ano ba talaga ang liver cancer, of course, may balikbayan tayo today. Please welcome again our Aty expert, the one who made fatty liver make sense. Gastroenterologist, hepatologist, and liver transplant specialist, Dr. Henry Winston Lee. Hello again, Doc!
Hello, magandang araw ulit sa iyo, Tita Liv, at magandang araw ulit sa ating mga ka-Atylers. Naway makinig po kayo sa aming podcast today.
Thank you for coming back to our show, Doc. Dahil ang dami naming natutunan from you from our fatty liver episode, this time, mas need namin ang iyong expertise to talk about one of the most dangerous liver disease, which is liver cancer. So let's start with, what is liver cancer?
Okay, ang liver cancer ay isang uri ng sakit sa atay kung saan may mga abnormal, malignant, or cancer cells na nagde-develop sa ating mga atay. Meron tayong tinatawag na hepatocellular carcinoma or yung pinaka-primary liver cancer na common na nangyayari sa ating atay across the world. Actually, ang liver cancer ay in the Philippines, the fourth leading cause of cancer, and unfortunately, Tita Liv, it's actually the second leading cause of death that's related to cancer after lung cancer. Ang mga sanhi kung bakit nagkakaroon ng liver cancer, ang pinaka-common ay yung pagkakaroon ng pangmatagalang damage sa ating atay kapag nagkakaroon tayo ng chronic hepatitis. However, yung pinaka-at risk talaga sa kanila ay yung mga pasyenteng may end-stage liver disease o permanenteng peklat sa atay. Ang tawag namin doon ay liver cirrhosis. Sila ang may pinakamataas na chance na mag-develop ng liver cancer.
Oh, hindi ko alam na common po pala ang liver cancer here in the Philippines. So paano niyo po malalaman? Ano yung mga testing or screening methods to know that you have liver cancer?
Dati, Tita Liv, ang liver cancer ay nadadiagnose through liver biopsy, kung saan kumukuha tayo ng cells sa ating mga liver para ma-prove sa microscope kung talagang cancer ito. Ngunit dahil sa technology natin ngayon, mayroon ng ibang modalities na nagde-diagnose ng cancer without a biopsy. For example, pwede itong unang ma-detect sa ultrasound, ngunit para ma-label or ma-diagnose ito as liver cancer, mayroong mga characteristics itong tumor na ito na mapapakita sa CT scan, and with CT scan alone, maaari na nating ma-diagnose ang liver cancer, and that's also coupled with some other blood tests. Yung blood test na tinatawag na AFP or tinatawag na alpha-fetoprotein, which are abnormal liver cancer markers that can elevate kapag meron tayong liver cancer.
Oh, so alam naman natin lahat na pag may family history ka sa cancer, may risk of getting it. So for liver cancer, hereditary din po ba ito or pwede pong makuha because of lifestyle?
Kagaya ng nabanggit ko sa previous episode on fatty liver, ang pagkakaroon ng fatty liver disease ay isang sanhi ng pagkakaroon ng liver cancer. Kung ikaw ay umiinom ng maraming alak, kapag nagkaroon ka ng alta presyon, mataas na cholesterol or sugar, maaari kang magkaroon ng fatty liver. At ang fatty liver na ito ay maaaring mag-develop into cirrhosis or end-stage liver disease. At ang mga pasyenteng may cirrhosis ay maaaring magkaroon ng cancer. However, sometimes nasiskip yung cirrhosis part, Tita Liv. Minsan, from fatty liver, maaari silang magkaroon ng liver cancer in very select cases.
Oh no! Pati po ba, Doc, kapag may family history na ng liver cancer, pwede ding magkaroon ng liver cancer ang pamilya?
May mga pag-aaral kung saan nabanggit nila na kapag meron kang family history of liver cancer, from an existing liver disease, ang chance mo na magkaroon din ng liver cancer ay mataas. So, merong association, no, kung meron kang family history ng liver cancer.
So, ano po ang most common age na at risk talaga for liver cancer?
Tita Liv, actually, kailangan natin tandaan that more than the age, ang mas kailangan natin pagtuunan ng pansin ay yung presence of pre-existing chronic liver problem. Kung ang pasyente ay may long-standing viral hepatitis o yung tinatawag na Hepa B or Hepa C, kapag meron silang chronic na fatty liver disease, sila ang mga pasyenteng at risk for liver cancer. Ngunit, kung pagbabasihan ang edad, sila yung mga pasyenteng may matagal na liver disease. So, usually, sila ay mas common sa mga mas may edad na mga pasyente. Katulad ng mga pasyente siguro in their 50s or 60s, sila yung mga may higher chances of getting liver cancer.
How about gender? Are males or females more susceptible to liver cancer?
May mga literature na nagsasabing mas common ito sa mga lalaki. However, females are not spared. So, kailangan kapag meron tayong pre-existing na liver condition, katulad ng mga nabanggit ko kanina, yung fatty liver, yung hepatitis B or C, kailangan magpa-screen lahat. Oo. Lalong-lalo na kung meron tayong cirrhosis ng atay o yung tinatawag na end-stage liver disease.
Ayun. So, regardless of gender, kailangang mag-ingat. So, Doc, how can liver cancer be prevented?
Okay, ang liver cancer prevention starts from different things, no? Ang pinakauna, kailangan ma-screen muna tayo if we have pre-existing liver disease. Katulad ng sa hepatitis B at hepatitis C, the patients who are at risk should be screened for these infections. But even before this, kailangan meron tayong initiative na magpabakuna laban sa hepatitis A or hepatitis B. Kasi Tita Liv, unfortunately, yung hepatitis C, wala pa siyang bakuna, pero meron ng gamot, may cure na. It's just an oral form of treatment. Doon naman sa mga pasyenteng may fatty liver, kailangan nagpapascreen sila for fatty liver, and if they have the pre-existing condition, kailangan bawasan nila yung pag-inom ng alak, and more importantly, kung may mga metabolic problems, kailangan mapanatiling malusog ang pangangatawan, and that means control of blood pressure, yung control of sugar and cholesterol, as well as most importantly, yung weight loss na nabanggit ko sa previous episode on fatty liver.
True ni Doc! Kailangan bantayan ng diet and dapat nag-exercise. So besides lifestyle changes, na-mention you about vaccinations. Can you elaborate more on it?
Okay. Ang hepatitis B ay isa sa pinaka-common na sanhi ng liver cancer. Sa Pilipinas, may bagong pag-aaral noong 2024. There's about roughly 4 to 5% of patients in the Philippines who are infected with the virus. This virus is usually transmitted through fetal or maternal to fetal transmission na tinatawag during childbirth in maybe 90% of cases. So, kailangan matandaan na ang mga bata na pinanganak ay dapat magkaroon ng kompletong bakuna laban sa hepatitis B. Kung tayo naman ay tumanda na at nakita natin na wala pa tayong immunity or nag-wane yung immunity natin ng bata, kailangan magpa-revaccinate tayo. At kailangan ko rin, isingit ko lang Tita Liv, no, sa mga mothers who are pregnant, kailangan nagpapascreen sila for hepatitis B during their pregnancy kasi may mga ginagawang measures para ma-prevent yung transmission ng mikrobyo from the mother to the child, kagaya ng pag-inom ng gamot, yung antiviral treatment, at syempre yung nabanggit ko, yung bakuna laban sa hepatitis B.
Yes! Sabi nga po ni Doc Dory and Doc Valerie in episode 1 about keeping newborns safe from hepatitis B, vaccine is your first anti-liver cancer medication. So vaccine is very important. So Doc, if someone is diagnosed with liver cancer, what are the first steps in their treatment plan?
Yung mga pasyenteng na-diagnose ng liver cancer, kailangan they should closely collaborate with their hepatologist, oncologist, or surgeons kung sino man ang nakadiagnose sa kanila. Ang usual na ginagawa namin kapag na-diagnose ang isang pasyente ng liver cancer ay yung tinatawag na multidisciplinary approach o yung MDP na tinatawag, kung saan pinagpaplanuhan namin ng maigi kung ano ang pinaka-best treatment for the patient. And the patient, on her or his role naman, is really to make sure na magfa-follow up siya sa doktor para masunod niya yung instructions on managing liver cancer.
Yes, kailangan makinig kay Doc para mapagaling. So Doc, we also heard about hepatectomy. Ano po ito at ano yung difference ito from a total liver transplant?
Alright, magandang tanong yan, Tita Liv. Ang hepatectomy are combined words, no? Hepa means liver. Tectomy means removal. So kapag sinabi nating hepatectomy, nagtatanggal tayo ng isang segment ng liver kung saan merong cancer. Hindi ito ino-offer sa lahat ng pasyenteng may liver cancer. There are criteria to say na kailangan hepatectomy lang ang kailangan kung saan nagre-remove tayo ng isang segment as I told you. Meron tayong 8 segments ng liver. At usually, isang segment nun yung tinatanggal or minsan 2 para matanggal yung cancer. On the other hand, yung tinatawag namang liver transplant ay isang mas radical na surgery. Ang ginagawa namin, Tita Liv, tinatanggal namin yung buong atay ng pasyente at pinapalitan na namin ng bago. This could either be from a living donor or someone who died already and kinukuha namin yung buong atay nung someone who passed away at binibigay namin doon sa pasyenteng in need of the liver.
Oh, I see. So hepatectomy is removing just a segment of the liver, and liver transplant is a total replacement from a donor. So ano naman po yung cure or treatments na available for liver cancer patients?
Importanteng tanong yan, Tita Liv. Ang cure sa liver cancer is very dependent sa stage nito. Kung na-diagnose natin ng mas maaga ang liver cancer, may mga pamamaraan katulad ng nabanggit mong hepatectomy at meron din ibang modalities na pwede natin gawin para ma-cure ang liver cancer. However, if it's on its later stages katulad ng kapag ang cancer ay tumubo na sa ibang parte outside of the liver or kapag yung cancer minsan tumutubo siya doon sa mga importanteng ugat ng atay, unfortunately, somehow, nakokontrol na lang natin ang cancer at hindi na natin nagagamot. Kaya nga, Tita Liv, importante ang screening above all.
Sana hindi naman umabot sa ganun, Doc. So you mentioned din po na may mga liver transplant tayo as treatment for patients who have liver cancer. Ano po yung risk for liver transplant? And ano po yung mga most common side effects ng liver cancer treatments?
Alright. Ang liver transplant, obviously, kapag pinalitan ng bagong atay yung ating lumang atay, merong laging chance of rejection. Ibig sabihin dahil foreign or makabago yung atay na napalit sa ating katawan, merong chance na ang ating sariling katawan ay i-reject yung bagong atay na yon. And also, kapag naoperahan tayo, meron din tayong chance na magkaroon ng infection, magkaroon ng heart and lung complications during and even after the procedure. At usually, in long term, pwede rin magkaroon ng mga surgical complications yung pag-liver transplant. Pero, syempre, depende, kailangan natin i-weigh yung benefit ng surgery against the risk. Kapag yung surgery is life-saving, we go ahead with transplant. Nabanggit mo, Tita Liv, yung ibang uri ng or modalities of treatment for liver cancer. Marami tayo, no? So, meron tayong tinatawag na hepatectomy, yung nabanggit mo kanina. Siyempre, yung usual side effect are the surgical complications related to hepatectomy. Pwede rin infection related to the surgery. Meron din tayong tinatawag na ablation kung saan sinusunog yung parte ng atay na may liver cancer. Ang mga usual complications nun is patients could develop fever or feeling of being unwell, so they become nauseous, may fatigue, pero usually nawawala naman yon as time goes by. And lastly, meron din tayong tinatawag na systemic therapy kung saan nagde-deliver o nagbibigay tayo ng chemotherapy or even immunotherapy, which is a novel treatment for liver cancer. Yung mga therapies na ito, katulad ng ibang chemotherapy, maaaring mag-cause ng pagkakaroon ng pagsusuka, maaaring yung mga pasyente nawawala ng ganang kumain or sometimes nanghihina. Ngunit Sabi ko nga, Tita Liv, ang benefit ng paggamot should be weighed against the risk. So, yung doktor ang makakapagsabi kung magiging beneficial pa ito sa inyo.
Ayun. Case-to-case basis pa rin yan. Depende sa kaya ng pasyente. So here in Asian Medical Center, ano po yung mga treatments and yung mga processes na pagdadaanan ng patient natin in treating liver cancer?
Okay, that's a very practical question, Tita Liv. Once you are diagnosed with liver cancer, usually ang simula nito ay yung tinatawag na multidisciplinary conference na ginagawa namin dito sa Asian Hospital, kung saan yung mga experts on their own field that could potentially treat the liver cancer, they meet in one meeting and then pinag-uusapan yung kaso, sinasabi at pinaghahandaan at nanghihingi ng inputs or mungkahi sa lahat ng mga eksperto na present. And usually, nagka-come up kami ng tinatawag na consensus or decision kung anong gagawin sa patient. In terms of modalities of treatment, as nasabi ko nga sa iyo kanina, Tita Liv, magdedepende ito kung anong stage ng liver cancer meron ang pasyente. In Asian Hospital, meron tayong surgery, may surgical division tayo kung saan maaari nating i-offer yung tinatawag na liver resection o pagtanggal ng atay o yung sinabi mong hepatectomy. Meron din tayong division kung saan pwede nating sunugin yung cancer. Ang tawag namin doon ay mga interventional radiologists. So they can offer either microwave ablation, pwede rin yung tinatawag na radio frequency ablation. Simple lang, Tita Liv, sinusunog nila yung cancer cells sa atay. And usually, in-offer yun sa mas early stages ng cancer. Meron din tayong tinatawag na TACE. Mahaba siya, pero essentially, ang ginagawa ng TACE ay nagde-deliver ng gamot doon sa area of cancer cells through non-invasive modality. Meron din tayong tinatawag na mga oncologists. So sila naman yung mga katuwang natin sa pagbibigay ng chemotherapy or immunotherapy para sa mga patients who are unfortunately in their unresectable stages na. Nagde-deliver tayo ng gamot, meron tayong mga intervals, minsan every 3 to 4 weeks ito binibigay. Meron ding available na mga oral chemotherapy for liver cancer. However, syempre ang goal ng mga chemotherapeutic agents is really more of control of the disease and really not for cure, unfortunately. So yun ang mga services na ma-offer ng Asian Hospital para sa isang pasyenteng may liver cancer.
Okay, thank you so much, Doc. Now I know that I have a lot of options and experts na maasahan here in Asian Hospital. So lastly, Doc, ano yung advice niyo sa mga recently diagnosed patients natin with liver cancer?
Lagi pong tatandaan mga ka-Atilers, kapag na-diagnose kayo ng liver cancer, it's a very time-sensitive disease. Ibig sabihin, hindi po pwedeng patagalin ito kasi pag lumalaki po ang bukol, mas lalong hindi nagiging curable. You have to have a close relationship with your doctor, particularly maybe your oncologist, your hepatologist, or any experts in the field of liver cancer. And sila po ang makakatulong sa inyo para matulungan kayong ma-prevent yung progression ng disease or even ma-cure yung liver cancer.
Agree, Doc. Thank you so much again for taking another time here with us in our show. Before we part ways, may last message po ba kayo for our listeners out there?
Maraming salamat, Tita Liv, ulit sa pag-imbita sa akin today. Para sa mga ka-Atilers, siguro ang takeaway dito sa pag-usap namin ni Tita Liv ay laging tatandaan ang liver cancer still remains as one of the most common cancers in the Philippines. And unfortunately, nabanggit ko nga kanina, second most common cancer-related mortality stems from liver cancer. So ang pinaka-important na siguro takeaway dito ay know kung kailan kayo dapat i-screen. Sa mga pasyenteng may cirrhosis or end-stage liver disease, automatically dapat nagkakaroon ng every 6 months of ultrasound. Pangalawa, sa mga pasyenteng may chronic liver problem katulad ng viral hepatitis, kailangan may relationship kayo sa inyong liver doctors para alam ninyo kung ito na ba ang tamang panahon para kayo ay ma-screen and periodically ma-monitor for occurrences of liver cancer. Kasi this leads me to my conclusion na ang liver cancer kapag nasa early stages pa lang, maaari silang magamot. However, kapag pinatagal natin or if na-diagnose ito ng later stage, unfortunately, minsan nauuwi ito sa palliative treatment, minsan supportive treatment na lang na ang naibibigay natin or control of progression of the liver cancer. Kaya mga ka-Atylers, importante ang screening for liver disease, and if you have liver disease, kailangan magpa-screen for liver cancer as appropriate kung sinabi ng inyong doktor.
Ayan! Again, thank you so much, Doc, for sharing your wisdom with us. And salamat din sa inyong lahat for tuning in. I hope you were able to learn more about the liver and what you can do to ensure na healthy ang atay mo and ultimately reduce the risk of developing liver cancer. But remember, kahit na magka-liver cancer, kaya pang gamutin. So don't give up, mga Tylers! Doc Winston and liver experts here in Asian Hospital and Medical Center are here to support your journey. This has been your Tita Liv, reminding you that our hearts are big, but our livers are bigger. So agapan ng atay!
Para iwas aray.
And I thank you!
Thank you mga ka-Tylers. Salamat sa pakikinig.